and with the invincible gun. Little was known about the Space Rider. He was a mystery, the stuff of legends.
In the months-long, high-stakes conflict between the coalition of planets and the Viltrum Empire, countless warriors, aliens, and beasts contribute to the eventual turning of the tide. The war is defined by overwhelming Viltrumite power, near invulnerability, and a long history of conquest that leaves most opposing forces outmatched before battles even begin. Characters like Battle Beast and Tech Jacket bring physical strength and advanced technology to the fight, while figures like Thetis and Alan the Alien provide leadership, power, and a long-term strategy. Yet even among this extraordinary team, one figure quietly but decisively shapes the outcome of the war more than almost anyone else: Space Racer. And what separates Space Racer from everyone else is not just his skill or experience, but the singular nature of his weapon, the Infinity Ray.
The Infinity Ray. It was said to emit an unstoppable energy wave that destroyed anything in its path. It's a weapon of impossible power. I couldn't take any chances an enemy of my people could find it.
I'm not the one who's gonna get shot in the face by an unstoppable super weapon.
In a universe where Viltrumites are effectively living weapons, capable of surviving explosions, extreme pressure, and catastrophic physical trauma, the existence of a tool that simply ignores their durability cannot be overstated. The Infinity Ray does not engage in a contest of strength. It bypasses it entirely. Its beam cuts through Viltrumites, starships, and even planetary matter with an almost indifferent finality. In practical terms, it is the only consistently reliable method shown in the war for neutralizing Viltrumites quickly and decisively. This fundamentally changes the strategic landscape. Before Space Racer's involvement, every confrontation with a Viltrumite is a prolonged, costly engagement. Even when coalition forces win, they often do so at enormous sacrifice. With Space Racer, that equation shifts. A single, well-placed shot can eliminate a high-ranking Viltrumite who might otherwise devastate entire fleets or slaughter entire squads of fighters.
Hades, we've already lost more lives than we can bear.
This use of the Infinity Ray turns him into a walking solution to the Coalition's greatest problem: how to defeat an enemy that cannot normally be killed. However, what truly elevates Space Racer's importance is not just the raw power he wields, but how he chooses to wield it. He is not reckless. The Infinity Ray is not spammed across every battlefield encounter. Instead, it is used with precision and intent. This restraint is critical. It ensures that when Space Racer acts, it matters. Each shot is deliberate, often targeting the most dangerous threats or the most strategically valuable assets. In doing so, he maximizes the tactical impact of his presence. Viltrumites, who are accustomed to being unstoppable, are suddenly forced to reckon with a force that can end them instantly. Throughout the war, Space Racer repeatedly demonstrates that he is far more than just a man with a powerful weapon. His battlefield awareness and adaptability make him indispensable. One of the clearest examples of this comes during the final battle in the war against Thrag, when he transports the Ragnar creatures directly into battle. These creatures are already known to be among the few beings capable of physically overpowering and killing Viltrumites. By delivering them at the right moment using his space bike, Space Racer effectively introduces chaos into Viltrumite ranks. Suddenly, the Empire is not only facing organized resistance, but also unpredictable, lethal beasts that can tear through even their strongest warriors. This move amplifies the Coalition's offensive capabilities in a way that no single fighter could achieve alone.
Ragnars. No! Even Viltrumites are scared of Ragnars, and for good reason. But because of the gravity on this planet, Ragnars had evolved strength like no other.
These things are doing
just fine on their own.
Space Racer's contributions reach their peak during the final assault on Viltrum itself, a moment that defines the entire war. Destroying the Viltrumite homeworld is not just symbolic, it is strategically essential. It removes their stronghold, disrupts their ability to regroup, and sends a clear message that their dominance can be broken. But accomplishing this requires more than brute force. The planet must first be weakened in a precise way to allow a small strike team to penetrate its core. This is where Space Racer once again proves indispensable. By firing the Infinity Ray into the planet, he creates a path, a destabilized channel that makes the impossible suddenly achievable. This single act enables Mark, Nolan, and Thetis to follow through and complete the destruction of Viltrum. Without that initial shot, their attempt might have failed outright, and the planet would still exist. Because of that shot, Space Racer is the one that delivered the destruction of the planet Viltrum. Another important aspect of his role is how he complements the strengths of others. Mark, Nolan, and Alan are all frontline fighters. They use their fists in order to fight, so they need to get in close. Space Racer, by contrast, operates as a force multiplier. He does not replace what others bring, he enhances it. His presence allows plans to succeed that would otherwise be too risky, too costly, or outright impossible. He flies around in his space bike and is able to shoot and help anyone that needs it. He is the ultimate sniper. When combined with the efforts of the Coalition, his actions create openings that shift the momentum of entire battles. By the end of the war, when the Viltrumites leave, their homeworld has been destroyed, and their numbers have been drastically reduced. It becomes clear that Space Racer's influence has been woven into nearly every major success the Coalition achieves. Space Racer eliminates threats others cannot, enables strategies that would otherwise fail, and introduces new dimensions to the battlefield that the Viltrumites are unprepared to counter. Space Racer stands apart because his contributions consistently alter outcomes at the highest level. He is not just another participant in the war. He is the factor that repeatedly turns near-impossible situations into decisive victories. When evaluating who had the greatest overall impact on the fall of the Viltrum Empire's dominance, it is difficult to argue that anyone else shaped the course of events as directly, as efficiently, or as decisively as Space Racer.
If the Infinity Ray is indeed real, it poses a huge
Threat to our mission.